After close to a month on recess, Parliament is scheduled to resume on Tuesday afternoon. Top on the order paper is the UPDF Amendment Bill to be tabled as a third item immediately after the communication of the presiding officer signifying its importance. On the 31st of January 2025, the Supreme Court nullified the trial of civilians in the court-martial in a ruling which paralyzed the operations of the General Court-Martial, which was handling cases of more than 400 civilians. The Supreme Court found that the court-martial lacked jurisdiction over civilians, lacked tenets on the fundamental rights and human rights, and was unjust. And I quote, "The provisions of the UPDF Act constituting and providing for the trial procedure of the General Court-Martial, the Division Court-Martial, and the Court-Martial Appeal Court do not contain any or sufficient constitutional guarantees and safeguards for them to exercise the judicial functions with independence and impartiality, which is a prerequisite for fair hearing provided for under Articles 21, 28(1), 44C, and 128(1) of the Constitution." This was the ruling of the Supreme Court. Ali Bunken, commonly known as Nubian Lee, is a former prisoner of the court-martial. At the time of his arrest in 2019, he was just a musician and a friend to now NUP President Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu. We caught up with him in the studios to pick his overview on the UPDF Amendment Bill in waiting.
Try to take us back, we civilians, into the kangaroo courts is heartbreaking in the kind of environment we live in. And we truly know that these court-martials, the military court-martials, are used as a tool of persecution of people who are in the opposition or anybody who speaks against the regime.
Even with proposed amendments to have a court-martial committee composed of lawyers at the level of a High Court judge, Nubian Lee, as he is commonly known, does not have any hope in this. He says it shall still serve according to orders.
To tell you, I for one have experienced this. Even the chairperson of the General Court-Martial does not have any powers to do anything. Everything is on instructions from...
As the bill comes to Parliament amidst mixed reactions of MPs trading off their consciousness, lawyer and Member of Parliament Medad Lubega Segona has cautioned the government against acting mischievously, indicating that the proposal to return civilians to the court-martial works against the Supreme Court ruling.
The first one is acting mischievous, and I mean acting in bad faith. Undertaking a conspiracy against the country. Re-establishing anything called a court-martial as a court of law is catastrophic. The entire country should stand against them.
Segona insists the bill is ill-intended against Ugandans and does not leave them with any options but to prepare again to go to court.
I don't want to let my cat out of the bag. Whichever way you look at it, we shall go back to court.
As the bill comes, what awaits to be seen is what the government picked out of the recommendations of the Supreme Court.
We then do speak to Shamim Nawakuz. Shamim, what is the largest and main fear of Ugandans as these events unfold as they are?
The fear for many Ugandans lies in persecution for known, unknown, or even political reasons. As many say, they could end up being framed by individuals depending on their interests. What many also have fear for is that even when the military courts or the UPDF amendment is done in Parliament and lawyers are delivered into the court-martial, they are still compromised for reasons that they are subject to the high command or the institutions of the military, and they will be compromised by the nature of taking command or being under the military institution.